Hello and welcome to another episode of the Climb the Confident Leader podcast. I'm your host, Rahul Karan Sharma, and here I am again with an amazing guest. The guest is coming from a different background, different genre so far that you have seen in my episode. She's a visionary TV producer and a TV host with a mission to amplify Black and brown voices, empower entrepreneurs, and help creators take control of their platforms. As a founder of Evolving Eve, she helps entrepreneurs gain more customers through visibility on streaming network and top media platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Racquel Maye David to our show. How are you, Racquel, today?
I am wonderful. How are you today?
Doing great. I've learned a lot about you since we spoke last. You have done amazing work for our community, and I can't wait for our listeners to know the great things that you have done so far. So,
Thank
uh,
you.
to start with, share with us how you started. How was your leadership journey throughout?
Wow. So I was always the person that never wanted to be a leader. And I know that sounds really strange because I'm the oldest. But I feel like, and it's so funny because I have a son who is the oldest and he's always like, I didn't ask to be the leader. But it's normally like how you see things and that sometimes you can see holes and the solutions come really smoothly for you. Life may not be that smooth, but it does come very smoothly for you. I started my career actually on the phones, and I worked for a very well known company back in the day called Singular Wireless. And I thought I was making really good money. I had, of course, by that time I'm like 20. And I thought I was making great money. And I ended up being pregnant at 24 and was like, obviously I make money, so my credit is good. And
Mhm.
then realize one and one does not always equal two, especially if you're not playing in the credit streets. So I made a decision that I was going to infiltrate the bank because in my mind, I am James Bond. Okay.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'm going to go to the banks and I'm going to learn credit. And I learned the process of underwriting. I learned how to sell even better, right? But I didn't really master credit the way that I wanted to. And one of the things that I learned was you have to invest in the things that you want to know. Get around the people who are teaching it and then take that nugget, apply it, and then put your sauce on it. So I actually started in the banks. I worked for Wells Fargo, Bank of America, PNC. I worked for like the top banks in the nation. And I did everything from telework all the way to underwriting because I wanted to understand what that beast was and why we weren't all getting approved, right? What were the things that were missing? Because again, we're taught pay your bills on time, you have good credit. And that's
Mhm.
part of the plan, but that's not all of it. So that's what really started my journey into getting out front of it, learning it, and then applying it and coming back to my community and saying, here's the part that they're not telling us.
Mhm, mhm. Wow. So a golden nugget already dropped by Raquel, which is invest yourself to learn something that you don't know.
Mhm.
But if you don't know and you just keep thinking that, okay, the knowledge will come to you automatically, no, that will not happen. You have to
Mhm.
invest your time. And as Raquel did, she did all the underground work to learn about how this credit repair actually happens and how what are the things that matters in building your credit. So
Mhm.
she got the knowledge and then she implemented that knowledge for herself and for her clients. So a great work there by
Thank you.
knowing what runs behind the scene, because sometimes we just see the cover of the book and
Right.
judge the book based on a cover, but the real story is when you actually read that book, that's when you get to know whether it was worth reading or not. So
Absolutely.
thank you for bringing that
My
point up.
pleasure.
And so overall, then you moved into media as well. You did well, the credit repair business, then the media business. So tell me what kind of mindset shift you had to go through to really become someone who you are, as you call yourself as a media queen. How you became that? What kind of shift you had to go through?
Oh, wow. So I think a lot of people get stuck in fear. So, two things that I live on. Number one, knowledge is not power. I had a coach say this to me. Knowledge is not power. The implementation of that knowledge is where the power comes in. So I'm going to say that again. Knowledge is not power. The implementation of it is what is powerful, right? Shout out to my original coach, Ebony Dubois. She dropped that nugget on me. And then the second thing that I realized is I am not afraid, me as an entity, I'm not afraid of failing.
Mm,
I have been a homeless teenager. I have gone through my own struggles in life. I had a mom who had undiagnosed mental issues.
mhm,
Um, I had a father who I didn't know for years, right? But one of the things that has always driven me was I don't want to wake up next year in the same space that I'm in right now.
mhm,
If
mhm,
I'm in the same address, and when I say it, I really mean this, y'all. Like, I'm even that way when it comes to places. I hate my husband has to talk to me and be like, we're not moving. I am such a person that believes if you're stagnant, there's something wrong. You're not implementing something. You're not growing. You're not glowing. And my husband had to come and say to me, no, some things you do need to be standing still for, right? But I think that because I was so afraid of being in the same place all the time, that I am always the person to try something. Let me step out on faith. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to figure out where I went wrong
mhm,
and then figure out how I can make it work. And one of the things that I'm really really good at is I believe in again investing in what it is you want, right? So I believe if you don't have the capital, you need to serve your way to the knowledge. So if
mm,
I don't have the capital to coach with this particular coach, but they are offering volunteers to come in and do A, B, and C to be a part of this project, I'm going to volunteer so I can get the knowledge and then
mm,
I'm going to sit down and figure out how do I apply it. So for me, my fear of not being in a better position has always been what made me push and shift my mind to say this is something you can do because I didn't think about coming into media. I literally was at one of my girlfriends. She has a network. She has a Black owned network out here in Killeen, Texas. It's called Pursue Purpose TV.
mhm,
And when I went to go tape her show, we were at a different network, right? We were in the studio at a different network, and the network owner came up to me and said, "Why aren't you on TV?" And I was like,
mm,
"What do you mean?" Because in my mind, I'm being myself, right?
mhm,
And when the opportunity presented this itself to me, my question was, how many people can I bring with me? How many doors can I open up to
mm,
make sure that we are all seen and we're all heard? Right. So for me, fear doesn't keep me stuck. Fear makes me go, oh, I'm scared. I got to move. So, like, when
mm.
people are like flight or fright, like, what we doing? Let's get it.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow. So, two things that I am getting what you just mentioned. Number one was how you can provide more opportunities to people who are with you. That is number one. Number two, a lot of people do not spend time in volunteering. And I think what I'm learning from Raquel is volunteering also is a way for you to learn more about things that you are not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it could be a department in your organization,
Mm-hmm.
whether it could be another team in your organization. Just volunteer yourself and know that when you volunteer, you will be getting that knowledge. And then you can take up a call that, hey,
Come on.
whether this team work experience or this team environment suiting better for me or where I am at right now is already good for me. So
Correct. And
volunteering
have a
is very
strategy
good.
because I think a lot of times we don't think about um so like for me, I remember my first season, I wanted to do a hybrid experience for my premiere party. So I wanted people that were not local because I'm Caribbean. I'm from Jamaica, right? My family, a lot of my family is in Jamaica. They're in Canada, they're in England. They may not all be able to come to the premiere party. So there was another young lady who was on the network. She had recorded before me, had her premiere was before mine. And I sat there and I was like, hey, do you have someone that's going to be servicing your virtual people? And she was like, no. But guess what? By seeing the gaps of all the things that she didn't have, I was able to speak to her that day and be like, you don't have this, you don't have that. Well, here's where you can go to get this. Here's where you can go get that. And now I was bringing value to her team
Mhm.
right? And in doing so, I was able to strategically place how my experience is going to be for the people that were coming to my premiere, because I already knew, well, these things are a priority to me, and just because they're a priority to me doesn't mean there's a priority to everyone. But I was able to bring a area that she didn't even think about, and it made her premiere even better once she heard that, right? So being in the right place sometimes and putting yourself out there as a volunteer, you want to use it for strategy. Like, don't just say I'm a volunteer for everyone. What is it going to bring you? Because one thing I took from the bank, and I'm going to tell you guys this: what's in it for me? That is
Mhm.
literally what the bank trains us.
Mhm.
Right? When you are positioning something to the client, it is, what are they going to get out of it? And what are we going to? There needs to be reciprocity, right?
Mhm.
And I think
Mhm.
a lot of times in relationships, we don't think about how vital reciprocity is, but that's how business thrives. They thrive on, I'm going to tell Raul this, Raul's going to tell this person, right? Because he's in this position to move me. Be that same way intentionally about your business and your brand, that when you are volunteering or you're offering your knowledge, there is something that is going to come back to you. And it may not be right away, but that you're putting that nugget that I'm a valuable asset to be on your block, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. What, ladies and gentlemen, what just Raquel mentioned about is, don't just give value, don't just provide value, but create value from your presence.
Mhm.
You must have heard of many a times that give value in your job, give value in your business, but
Mhm.
that is just one part of it. How you create value from whatever you are offering to the other person, and just the experience that Raquel mentioned, how she was able to add value to her team member or the person for whom she was volunteering. And that
Mhm.
was something the person who would have hired her as a volunteer would have never thought from that perspective. But
Mhm.
she provided that value, she created that value for herself. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
On that front, now I know you have a very big show, Breaking Barriers. How that the hosting of this show, Breaking Barriers, shifted your leadership approach, especially around visibility and influence?
Oh my goodness. So number one, I think that we all miss out on the importance of
Mhm.
this little phone. This little phone right here, a lot of people are making money, but a lot of people are not leveraging it to tell their stories. And
Mhm.
when I decided to do Breaking Barriers, what I wanted to do was, I wanted ordinary people that were doing extraordinary things, because they were dealt cards that they may not have been happy about, redefining what success is in their life and actually showcasing that in real time, right? And what it made me do was, I went back to my team and asked them, what does success look like for you? I'm
Mhm.
not raising children, right? But my team is my family. My team, I genuinely want to know, like, this is where you are. What is your end goal? How can I play a strategic part in doing that? How can my show play a strategic part in you doing that? And it shifted the level of communication, number one, because I feel like I'm very much an over communicator with my team. But
Mhm.
now I wanted to know, again, what's in it for you? What do you want at the end of this? And what is your success story? Like, I wanted to hear from them, what are you going through? Because a lot of times we have employees, and I remember hearing this story when I was younger, that there was a couple, a married couple, that had kids that were living in their car, and they were going and serving at TD Jake's church, and they were homeless. But they served, and no one knew their story until they got on the other side, right? And they were able to go ahead and talk about it, and they're now able to lead from a standpoint of, what does lack look like? How was I able to accomplish? How was I able to come over? What did that look like as a team for us to do it, right? And I think that Breaking Barriers gave me the ability to ask, what does that influence looks like? And are you being intentional on making sure that your purpose and passion is leading you? Because the coins are going to come.
Mhm.
But if you
Mhm.
have your purpose and passion in full front, and you're doing it with authenticity, with uh, a pure heart, I feel like everything falls into place the way that it needs to.
Absolutely. I think you just nail it. It's all about being authentic. It's all about having that purpose in mind. Just doing things. For example, you do a job, you know that you will be paid for it.
Mhm.
But just getting paid is not the end of discussion or end of that situation. It is about all about the purpose, and that is where when we work hard, we make money, we make bonuses, we make to those fun trips. But at the end of the day, we are also having a situation with work-life balance, and that happens because we don't know the purpose. We don't know where we are going. We are just running, running, running. We are just
And
having
who
that.
are you competing with?
Yeah.
Like one of the things that I had to talk to I had a real conversation with a friend of mine because she was
Mhm.
like, "You were working a 9 to 5 and you had this business. How are you doing it?" Number one, I look at what is the goal for my position. If you have a 9 to 5 and you have a passion on the other end, y'all, the number one thing that you need to focus on is what does my job require me to do? Do your job. Do your job. If
Mhm.
that is going to get you, like I was in the insurance industry, right? So you get raked 1 through 5,
Mhm.
3. No matter, I remember like I got 1 year, I got recognized by 5 different divisions and the CEO of the company, and I still had to fight for a level 5 payout,
Mhm.
right? So in that moment, I realized no matter how much work I do, I'm going to get this,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that we need to remember is that your employer is your first investor in your passion.
Mm.
If you are planning to start a business, if you know that you're going to execute, what does that workflow need to look like? What do you need to do in order to maintain the standard of employment?
Mm.
Then take your focus and put it on your passion.
Sure.
But be intentional on your time. There are times that I don't have free time because I'm pouring into my purpose, right? But I also understand the balance is I have 4 amazing children. I
Mm.
have my oldest son, he's 21. My youngest child is 7, right? I forgot how that happened, y'all. I started over. But but I have to be there in different ways for each one of my children, right? So I have a 20-year-old, I have a 21-year-old, 20-year-old, and almost 18-year-old. How they're going to need me and how my
Mm.
7-year-old is going to need me is different, but I'm intentional about my time. So if I'm saying I'm working for this person, I got a contract. They said I do good work. They're going to pay me X amount of dollars for this body of work. I'm going to give them that work.
Mm.
Nothing more, nothing less. I'm going to give them that work and then I'm going to focus on my purpose. But I think in leadership, we're taught to pour everything out. And I think
Mm.
that we need to be intentional on where we're investing our stock.
Sure. Sure.
If you
Absolutely.
if you're not seeing the residuals that you want and you know you want to pivot, learn all you can while you're in corporate America. I took so many gems and tools
Mm.
from my corporate America experience to execute in my brand and business that I liked. And the stuff that I didn't like, I left
Yeah.
it alone. But we have to be intentional because we cannot create balance if we don't understand where we're giving all of our intention to,
Mhm.
right? And that is where leadership starts. Where are you going? What is the end goal? And then what do you need to put into place while you're getting there?
Mhm. Yeah. And most of the time, people don't know what they will do when they are not working.
Mhm.
And what happens is then they just keep on working, working, working because they don't have any other outlet.
Yes.
Maybe they are just single, they don't have family, or probably they are just too much engrossed in what they are doing that they don't have time for anything else. But I
Mhm.
think that's where that the work life balance or the mental wellness comes into play. That how you
Mhm.
devote time to your own self,
Right.
how much time do you give to yourself is also very, very important. And Raquel, you were having a very stable corporate career in the financial and insurance industry, and then you
Mhm.
chose to move into entrepreneurship, have your own, a media company. What was it like to move from a stable career to this something an unknown territory? Uh,
Mhm.
what was going through in your mind, and what motivated you to take that decision? I'm sure that was a very big decision for you. Enlighten us with that mindset that you were having that point in time.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to be honest with you. I personally feel like entrepreneurship chose me because my mom had a business from when I was 5 years old. So
Mhm.
I've been blessed to see both sides of it because my father worked for an a law firm, and I wanted to be an attorney. And then my mom was a model. And then she started styling people, and she became an award-winning hairstylist in New York. And for me, it was scary the first 3 months because
Mhm.
let me tell you, when you're used to, so the benefit of working and having the investor, right, into your passion is, every 2 weeks, this is coming in like clockwork, right? When you become an entrepreneur, you eat what you devour. So if you don't conquer, if you don't close the deal, you're not necessarily eating unless you have strategy. So one of the things that I did do before I left, and this is just a really great tip, I think of my earning potentials in three different processes. So number one, you think of having your 9 to 5 that's giving you consistent money. I call that drip money. That's money that is going to come in. It's very consistent, it's very smooth. One of the things that I built was like a nice mentorship. I had a mentorship, and I still have it to this day, where I coach once a month for credit repair clients. I'm
Mhm.
helping them with funding. I'm helping them with different strategies. I'm giving them letters. I'm giving them tools. I'm telling them how to leverage ChatGPT to do this particular thing for you and what laws you need to use, right? So I have my membership. So my membership was the first thing that I created so that I can have a sort of consistent flow to come into
Yeah.
my business, right?
Mhm.
And then the next thing that I did was I looked into affiliate marketing. And a lot of people think that that's super hard, but I personally feel like anything that you use. So for me, I was in the credit space. I'm always using a credit monitoring. So I'm always going to be able to push that particular product even if I'm just dropping in a credit tip today, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, Affiliates, I have a friend who makes like $30,000 a month just off of credit monitoring, nothing else, right? But that's another layer that I can get. That's also drip money, but again, it comes at different phases. So I have a couple of affiliate partnerships that I leverage. And I'll put it in different groups. If I go into different rooms, I bring that information to me. So even if they can't lock in on me, if they lock in on this product, I'll still get 10, 15, $20 off of that particular
Mm. Mm.
idea, right? That affiliate working. And then the last thing that I do is so it's a continuity offer. That's what I call my mentorship. But the last thing that I do is I have very clear high ticket clients. And I have a goal for my high ticket clients because they're getting something completely different, right?
Mhm.
They're getting a full experience, they're getting exposure, they're getting all of these good nuggets. But I
Mm.
have a goal as to what I'm going to close. So before I left, I already started my pipeline. And I think sometimes we're not able to build that up.
Mhm.
But I think that if you have it, if anyone's listening and they're about to start the journey, be very clear on how you're doing things because my continuity offer still goes to my high ticket client. Like, even though they come on the show, if they don't have funding, I'm putting them in my mentorship, right? That's a part of the deal so that I can make sure that I'm still having those levels be filled out and
Mhm.
I'm not working harder, but I'm working with more intention and that
Mhm.
there's a goal at the end of it, right? So that's how I looked at it. But trust me,
Wow.
it was fair.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
was a lot of fear, but I was like, let's make it do it.
Absolutely. So for her, for Raquel, entrepreneurship chose her.
Yes.
But at the same time, she was smart enough to diversify her earnings into multiple buckets. So if you are thinking about being an entrepreneur, there is a too many information. Golden nuggets have been dropped by Raquel. Number one was make sure that you have your continuity plan. You know what you will be doing and how you will be doing.
Mm,
Another learning for me was the affiliate marketing.
mm,
Sometimes you don't know how that $10 $20 per piece can add up if 100 products of that is being sold through your channel. Affiliate marketing is good, as well as diversify your earnings into multiple channels. Have
mm,
one bucket where as Raquel mentioned, the drip money that will take care of your day-to-day stuff. But
Yes.
for you to go to that luxury, then you need to have those other set of businesses, as Raquel mentioned. So great. Thank
Absolutely.
you for giving those timely tips for our listeners here. And now, if someone listening to our podcast and decide that, hey, I want to work with her, my credit is very bad, and or I have a great credit, but I'm still looking to create my impact as an entrepreneur and my influence as an entrepreneur. How they can work with you? What is the process of someone working with you, Raquel?
Well, I love it. Okay, so on the credit side, we have evolvedlifenow.com.
Hmm.
That it takes you all to my credit, my funding, my courses, everything is on there for you guys
Okay.
to leverage. If you're looking to be on media, you would go to breakingbarriersstories.com. I know it's kind of long, y'all, but,
We will
but
include both these
but
websites on
we'll,
our
we'll
show
get it to
notes.
you.
Yeah.
You can always like I tell people all the time, slide up into my inbox. You can send me a message at support@evolvedlifenow.com. You can go to my Instagram. I make sure all of my Instagram, my Facebook, all of them are definitely the same because I love my husband. So it's Racquel Maye David. But I want to make sure that you can reach me. So no matter where you go, I don't care if it's TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, I am always present and I reply because I know that sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning when you feel like you don't have it together, like send me the message. I'm not going to answer it too because I'm asleep, but as soon as I get up, I will definitely respond. And I think that we are the change that we're looking for. We don't always know how to implement it. We don't always know how to go about it. But if you really think about it, you're the person that you're looking for. You just have to arrive there and you're in
Mhm.
the process.
Correct. And I think, as we always say, that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So if you
Absolutely.
are really ready, you will find the sources, you will find those means to get to those particular accomplishment or particular
Absolutely.
objective that you are looking to meet. So thank you for sharing that wonderful information, Raquel.
My
Now,
pleasure.
we are coming to our end of our show, and we will move to our rapid fire round, Raquel, where there will be 5 questions coming to you, and we
Okay.
would want you to answer them instantly as soon that you hear the questions.
Got it.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
All right. One quotation that you live by.
Just do it.
Okay. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Ooh, night owl.
Okay. What is one daily routine you never skip, no matter how hectic your day is?
I drink water.
What's one leadership skill you wish someone had taught you earlier?
Grace for myself and others.
And finally, if your career were a Netflix series, Raquel, what would be the title of season one be?
Ooh, child, she did that. That would be the title. Child, she did that. Yes.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. So, Raquel, well, now we are at the end. Any final word of wisdom to our listeners from your end?
Bet on yourself. You are the gem that you are looking for. And thank you for being here and giving me the space to speak to your audience.
Right. All right. So, team, before we let Raquel go, as a ritual, I want to share my learnings from the show. So, there were multiple golden nuggets that were dropped by her. I would love to hear what was your biggest takeaway in the show comments. For me, number one was invest in yourself. If you want to learn something, just invest your time, volunteer. Either go for some courses, volunteer yourself, but invest in yourself. Number two, it was music to my ears as she was saying this. Knowledge is not power
Mm-mm.
unless it gets executed.
Yes.
So make sure that you implement whatever you are learning. That is what will bring more success to you. And finally, is reciprocity is the key. It's always what is in it for you and what is in it for your client. As long as you are working on these two aspects, you will be in a good shape. Don't just work on just one aspect, whether it could be just what is in it for me or only just what is in it for your client. You need to have both these aspects to really become a successful entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Another thing before I let you go is the for entrepreneur trip, as Raquel mentioned, is diversify your earnings. Don't just keep your earnings into one bucket. Diversify it, and you will be surprised how things become easy for you.
Amen.
With that said, we are very thankful to you, Raquel, the media queen, to be on our show. We wish you good
Thank
luck, and a lot of clients would be coming your way as they will be listening to our podcast. Thank you. Have
thank
a
you.
great
I'm
day.
humbled. Thank you.